What's up, guys? I'm Ryan with Ryan Epps Fishing. It is good to be back here on the water on this brisk 45-degree morning. We're going to try to start our November off right by putting a few of these Tennessee smallmouth in the boat. I'm fired up about it. Let's get to work. Let's go then. All right. Number one. There's a fish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's better. That is better for sure. Oh, it's barely hooked. Barely hooked. That is better right there for sure. That is a dark smallmouth right there. Nice fish. I know that I just caught those two fish, but I feel like the color that I'm throwing or the action might not be 100% dialed in because I got both those fish on just a single treble hook. They didn't really eat it, and that fish hit it really light. I mean, honestly, I thought it was hung on the edge of that boulder right there. So I'm gonna keep throwing it for just a minute, but if that keeps happening, I'm gonna change colors. There's another one. Woo! We are setting records now. There's a fish. Looks like a small one. Yep. Oh. It's been Dink City today. Good Lord. Bait back, and then you can be on your way. Like I said, I have seen a lot of things. This kind of sums up how today's going. A turtle. Back you go. And you know, I was just thinking that maybe I ought to put on a lot brighter color crankbait, something louder, brighter colors, wider wobble and stuff to help them bass find it. But if a damn slow ass turtle could find it and eat it, I don't think a smallmouth's gonna have any trouble. So there you go. Alright guys, I've made a change here. Probably the last hour and a half I've been on the graphing around, and it's kind of surprising to me this early, but there's quite a few fish out here deep. And I've been marking bait, marking fish between 25 and 40 foot seems to kind of be the range. And I dropped some stuff on them. Couldn't pick up any. So I thought maybe they wanted something with a little more movement to it. So I tied up a drop shot rig, and I've been working that. Second cast, I caught my third keeper, a smallmouth, and then I caught another one, just wasn't quite big enough to keep. But unfortunately, the camera wasn't on for that, of course. But we'll see if we can get another one here before we call it. Oh, ah. Oh, wasn't paying attention. I was watching those shad over there. All right, guys, let's talk about what worked today. I'll go ahead and apologize to y'all for doing this this closing here back at the house, but fished sun up till basically sundown today out there trying to catch some smallmouth and trying to figure things out. And simply, I just ran out of daylight out there and wasn't going to be too good for shooting that video. So I brought everything back here to the house, and I want to tell you all what worked today for me and also what didn't work today for me. So honestly, it wasn't a great day out there. Things were kind of slow, but that's how this early wintertime fishing goes. It's a transition time, fall to winter. There's a lot of fish in a lot of different places doing a lot of different things. So I mean, you know, that's fishing. You're going to go out there some days and you're going to load the boat down. You're going to go out there some days and you're going to struggle to put together a limit. So I started out this morning. I wanted to start out doing what I've had success with throughout this past month. I started out throwing small body crankbaits on riprap bank and some main lake rock and stuff. And I caught my first two keepers this morning doing that. I caught one of those fish on the Bandit 300, red crawl color. I did notice though, I caught a couple fish, but I only caught one keeper. There were a lot of smalls pulled up there this morning, and they weren't eating it very good. They were slapping at it. The keeper that I had, it had one hook in it, which told me that something wasn't right. I suspected that they were eating more shad today, so I made a change and I swapped over to a Strike King 3XD. It's roughly the same size crankbait. It's a small body 2-inch crankbait. To me, it's got just a little bit different wobble. It's got just a little bit different sound, and I wanted to try that in a shad color to see if they would react to that a little better. The color that I chose for that was a sexy blueback herring color. Now, everybody has heard of the sexy shad color. The reason I went with sexy blueback herring, and I'll show you that color. I can't show you the actual bait because, to be honest with you, it is still on the rock that I hung it on there out on Cherokee. So if you all happen to run past that rock and see that crankbait, then congratulations. You now have a 3XD, but I'll show you the color. Now again, don't pay any attention to the bait. This is a good bait, but it's not what I was using. This is the color though. This is the Strike King Sexy Blueback Herring color. What's different about this over the Sexy Shad color is everything's not as bright. It's got a little more green in it. The white is toned down to kind of a gray, and the bright yellow stripe that's in it is dulled down to a real dull yellow. Everything's dulled down, and I like that when the water's got quite a bit of clarity to it. Starting off this morning, we didn't have a ton of wind. It got really bad throughout the day, but we didn't have a ton of wind at first light this morning, and the water was kind of clear. So I went with this color. It mimics a threadfin shad, which is what they're feeding on right now, smaller threadfin. It mimics that pretty good, but it's not so bright that it turns them off on it. Caught another keeper smallmouth there on the 3XD blueback herring color, and caught a couple more shorts, but they weren't really eating that bait right either. They were still slapping at that, so I didn't see a whole lot of improvement over that. It just wasn't a crankbait morning. I feel like I kind of force-fed them at crankbait a little bit. I wanted that to happen. I should have made a change sooner. So after what little bit of a bite we had there died out, I spent quite a bit of time out on the graphs and went out there graphing around deeper. And honestly, I found quite a few fish that had already moved out into deeper water. A lot of that bait had pulled out there deeper. And I started focusing on that. The problem is that those fish that have moved out there, they're not really hunkered down anywhere. They're moving around a lot, chasing some of that deeper bait. And the water temps being in the low 60s, that bait's still moving around pretty decent. So it's a little bit too warm to be fishing other winter style stuff like a Damiki rig and stuff like that where you don't have a lot of action in it. So what I did to close the day out, I picked up a drop shot rig, and I was throwing, what I was doing is I was watching my graph. When I would come across a school of fish, I could drop down on them vertical, see if I could get hit that way. If not, those fish were moving around so much that I wasn't even trying to turn back around and get on them again, because I was losing more time trying to get back on top of moving fish than I would be just keep moving along until you came across some more. So I was actually casting that drop shot rig in between vertical dropping it on fish, and I caught a couple more fish. I caught my last keeper doing that, and it just barely kept. It was a 15-inch smallmouth, but that was my third keeper. And you know, I'm not gonna say that I'm very good at a drop shot rig. It's something that I picked up a little over a year ago. It's not a great confidence bait for me. It's something that I'm working on and trying to get better doing, because it is a great tool for catching fish when it's tough, and it's such a natural presentation that it works really well. But I was using I was throwing that on my spinning setup. I was using on my spinning reel, I had 10-pound Suffix braid tied to 7-pound FC Sniper Sunline Flourocarbon leader. I tied those up with a modified Albright knot, and my weight was a cylinder weight. It's about a 3/16 ounce weight, small stuff. Had a VMC spin shot hook, and the bait that I caught those drop shot fish on was a Missile Baits Bombshot. This is a really good drop shot bait. I believe this bait just came out on the market this year, and I've done pretty well with it. It's just a small shad imitating bait. The color that I chose is Bombshell. It's a white, kind of a grayish, translucent color with some chartreuse in it. And I found that it does really well for smallmouth around here. So that's what I was doing today, guys. Like I say, it wasn't a great day out there, but it's always good to be out on the water and catch a few. And like I say, I'm going to show you the good and I'm going to show you the bad. Had to grind it out today to get what we got, but we'll go out there and keep grinding all winter, see if we can find some better fish. That's all I got for y'all today. Y'all make some time, get out there on the water and catch you a few. If you like the videos, make sure you hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Leave a comment. If y'all got any questions or anything, leave those in the comment section down below. I'll be happy to answer anything y'all got for me. Until next time, I'm Ryan Epps. Y'all have a good one.